Hi everyone, my name is Jay and I currently work as a senior AI scientist at Microsoft. And for fun, I just want to try the latest features of any ChatGPT or LLM models. Today, I'm very excited to present you the newest feature released by ChatGPT, which is Canvas, and it is very similar to artifacts released by Claude AI. So let's try to see like what are some of the newest features released by them. The first thing is that now if you wanted to write any blog post or any kind of a content with respect to the chat gpt, you by default you will definitely get like a lot of options to actually improve that, which is a really nice thing. So you don't need to write multiple prompts to actually rewrite your design. You have by default like drop down options or click options to improve your content. That's a really good add-on which makes the whole process end to end seamlessly pretty quick and easier. And the second best thing which I really liked is that it acts like a coding partner whenever you wanted to write any code. So it acts like a good collaboration agent for you, and it can actually suggest edits, adjust length, change reading level, add final polish, add emojis, and everything whatnot. It can also can convert the code in one language to the other language, as we will see in the demo itself. And I'm very excited to present you this one, and you can see that they actually gave like a small example which we can try it out ourselves, where you basically try to develop a server, and you can just add comments on top of the existing code which it developed, and you can see the way it flows from end to end. So let's try to do it ourselves. So the first thing is that let's try to make a blog post, and you can see that I just want to make a blog post of example which they showed how do frequent flyers age fast than rest of us. And you, as you can see that it has given me a simple blog post of just 3 paragraphs. Now on the right hand side you can see that you get bunch of options. The one thing is the suggested edits, and the second one is that we can adjust the total length of the outputs, and finally the reading level which can be ranging from college to graduate to high school. And you can add a final polish, and you can add emojis. Let's try to write some of them. And the first thing we can write is that let's ask it to add a final polish. Now you can see that it started rewriting the entire stuff, assuming that it was our like a final version. Now let's ask it to like how to make subtitles more readable. Now you can see that it basically gave bunch of options for us. At the same time you can actually see you can make some suggest edits, and you can see on each and everything it will try to give edits on top of the things which it already wrote. And you can click on apply, and you will see basically there will be small changes here and there, and here also you can make it apply. Let's try to apply all the edits which are suggested by the ChatGPT itself, and let's do the same for the rest of them too. Okay, and the final one. And the next feature which I really like is the reading level. And I really like it because a lot of times when I ask it to write any blog post or anything, in the prompt I do mention a lot of times try to write it in more professional way, or in a sometimes like if you wanted concept to be so simple, try to make it write in a way which is even understandable by a high school student or anything. So here you have that options. Let's change it to a grad school, and you also get an option of middle school, kindergarten too, so they cover wide range of options. And you can see how the wording has been changed, like the velocity, time dilation, and everything. So it's pretty good actually. Let's try to add some emojis to see what kind of emojis does it add. Wow, this looks does amazing, but only one problem I have is that it added a lot of emojis. Let's try to see if it can actually reduce number of emojis. You added lot of emojis. Emojis. Can you reduce few? Yeah. Now it has reduced the emojis by a lot, but overall did a pretty good job, and I really liked it because it does really help like every individual on day-to-day basis who who are like not very much familiar with the prompt engineering and other stuff. It does definitely help as they give a lot of options for us to uh, modify the content it got generated, and I do feel like these are just like parameters similar to very much of prompt engineering itself. Let's go to the next example. I just want to see the next example. Let's try to add a new chat, and I just want to try very new example, not the one which they showed. So I always wanted to build like uh, a a basically an a Python server which can basically does all the login and everything end to end. So I wanted a website backend in Python which can do most basic operations with respect to the user. As you can see that it's very similar to artifacts in the cloud AI. Now whenever you type any code related stuff, it basically splits the entire screen into two parts, and it basically shows your entire code here. And if you want to make any changes, it can actually make these changes here. So let's try to uh, ask GPT, even though you delete the user save his email somewhere, so if it decides to come back in future. Yeah, as you can see that I just added a comment like if a user actually comes back, make sure that we can actually save his email so we know that the customer is returning customer even though he deleted his account with us previously. So it does a good job with respect to that. Now for a coding thing, on the right hand side you can see that the different options right now, which is like code review, port to a language, which I really liked, and other thing is fix bugs, add logs, and add comments. Let's try to ask the basic thing, which is basically to add logs. And now you can see it basically goes to each and every part of the thing, and it is adding logs as part of like a print statement. So it's not really adding the logs, but it's kind of doing very much similar to that. And now let's try to see when it finishes this one. It did it, but it's still not showing cancel for me, so I'm not sure, but let's wait for a second. uh, yeah, so it's a bit slow, but next we try to do one thing which is like I really like this option, but before we try that, let's try to ask it one more stuff, which is like let's try to select everything. You can select any part of the code which you want. Let me write make sure the code is error proof, means whenever there is a failure or anything it shouldn't just like um, fail the entire thing. It should try to have like a try catch statements. So let me try to see if it writes. You can see that it started writing the try catch statements just as assumed. So all the code becomes like just an error free code right now. So that's one really good thing which I really like. And the final thing which I really liked is that sometimes as part of my research, I go to a lot of GitHubs, and a lot of people try to write code in like the language which they prefer, and most of them times it might be like a TensorFlow itself, and sometimes I wanted to change it to like maybe a C sharp code, or sometimes if somebody wrote code in like Lua or like any other coding language, I wanted to change it to a different language. It's a very big process, but now they have option like port to a code, and you can actually change this code to just like maybe let's change it to TypeScript, which is a really good language nowadays, or JavaScript. And now you will see the magic. The entire code what we asked it to write until now, the end to end just got converted into JavaScript code, even with all the print statements and the try catch error blocks and everything. So these are like really pretty cool things, and let's try to ask like if it can actually find any bugs in this code. It fixed potential issues. Let's try to ask what issues it actually fixed. Can you name few issues which you fixed? Lot of times I try to write like spelling mistakes, just want to make sure that the model does understand me correctly, even though I write like spelling mistakes here and there. So as you can see that it does like few things as part of it. One is that it try to improve the error handling, and previously there is no password hashing in the user registration. Now it changed the password to like hashed it, so the password is not visible for anyone. Let's try to see where it is that. I think this is where it hashed it using UUID, so that's a good one. So there's a async await consistency which I added, and input validation. So all the things are great, and it did a great job. So I really like the latest version. It really helps for the developers a lot, who on an average, this is one of the report which I read, is that a lot of people who use ChatGPT or anything, they mainly use it for coding related questions. So that's one of the reason the number of Stackflow users has gone like dip by a drastic margin once the ChatGPT has been released. So I really feel that this is a really good upgrade. Thank you everyone.